Hey everyone, welcome to BrickVault. My name is Charlie, also known as Level Cap from the YouTube channel Level Cap Gaming. Today we're going to be building an awesome Star Wars Lego set that I've been waiting for quite a while. This here is the Star Wars Resistance X-Wing Fighter. The set is recommended for ages 8 to 14. It's set number 75149 and it comes with 740 pieces. Also included are 3 minifigures, Poe Dameron, Lorsan Tekka, and a First Order Flametrooper along with a BB-8. The box artwork is pretty cool and it does look like this is supposed to be Poe's X-Wing that was used before it got blown up in the start of the movie. Sorry if that's a spoiler for some of you, but you really should have seen the movie by now. Let's get this box open and see what we got. Inside the box we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 large bags and a fairly sizable instruction booklet. Let's get started. Alright, we finished the new Resistance X-Wing Fighter. I love the new blue and gray color scheme. It looks really cool, but before we get into the details, let's talk about the new minifigs. First up is Poe Dameron. Now this is a new Poe Dameron minifig, different from his fighter pilot minifig that we got with the black X-Wing. This is how Poe appears in the beginning of The Force Awakens, and he's still got his cool jacket that he later gives to Finn. The jacket detailing is pretty cool. It's got some nice silvery highlights on it, a little bit of detailing on the back there, and he also has a black hairpiece since he wasn't really wearing his helmet much at the beginning of the film. He does, however, come with a backup helmet, which is actually a unique helmet since Poe is wearing a black helmet towards the end of the film, and you can see the comparison between the two minifigs here. When you take off Poe's helmet or hair, you'll notice that he has an alternate facial expression. His first face is sort of a confident smirk, and then his other face looks like he's seen some stuff. I mean, he's got bags under his eyes, he looks a bit exhausted. Could very well be the face from the torture scene of that movie. He comes with a little blaster pistol sidearm, and the helmet is of course very cool with that translucent plastic used for the visor in the front instead of printing the visor graphic onto the head. Next up we have Lorsan Tekka, who is only briefly in the beginning of The Force Awakens. His torso and legs have a lot of great detail on them. I like it when Lego prints some shiny silver detail in with just flat matte colors. It has the silver detail actually pop out quite a bit more, which is a cool effect. Under the printing of his brown robes, you'll notice that he has sort of a utility belt, a sash there, and even a little bit of necklace or jewelry. When removing his hairpiece, you'll notice he has two facial expressions. His first one looks almost hopeful. It's probably from the scene when he's talking with Poe. His next facial expression, though, is pretty much the complete opposite. Loss of hope and a sad look on his face. Without question, there's quite a lot more backstory to this character, and I'm glad that LEGO has included him in this set. The next minifig we have is the First Order Flametrooper. He comes with quite a few cool gadgets on him. A flamethrower, he's even got a flamethrower backpack, a very unique looking helmet that's removable with the sort of standard stormtrooper face underneath. He's got both torso and leg printing. This guy, however, is not a unique minifig, and you could have gotten flametroopers in previous sets. That being said, there's no harm in getting more of them, and it's always cool to build out your First Order stormtrooper army. In fact, if you've been watching this channel for a while, you might even remember seeing our big First Order stormtrooper collection, and if you haven't, you can check out this video here. And then last for the figs is our BB-8. This guy's come out in a few other sets previously, but it doesn't make him any less cool. Definitely one of the stars of the film and such a cool little fig. He comes in two pieces. You can pop his little head off and put it back on, and it rotates around if you want to point his head in other directions. I also like that the body printing of BB-8 is unique on each side, so when you rotate him around, you'll notice that the metal paneling actually differs. Alright, now let's take a look at this X-Wing. What I like about this is that it's actually virtually identical to the previously released black X-Wing that is specific to Poe. Now this X-Wing here is also Poe's in the film, however you could just take Poe out of it and put in one of the other pilots, and all of a sudden it becomes one of the backup X-Wings that was escorting Poe in some of the other scenes of the film, which is very cool. So you could actually build out your X-Wing army here if you wanted, with Poe's black X-Wing in the lead. Now, despite this X-Wing being about 95% identical to the other black X-Wing in terms of the way it's built, there are a couple little changes. On the back, we actually have a pop-out compartment here that could be sort of the computer or maybe the warp drive, some sort of critical component to the X-Wing that actually gets damaged in the film. Of course, the coolest feature of this X-Wing are the S-foils, which you can open up into the attack position by turning the little knob on top. And likewise, if you want to put it back into flight position or travel position, whatever you want to call it, you can turn the knob again to bring the wings back together. The tension in the system is created by 4 blue rubber bands on the back of the wings. It's a good system, though you might want to consider over time the rubber bands may wear out and snap, as that's something that does happen with older LEGO sets. As long as you have some other rubber bands sitting around the house, though, you can always replace them. You just want to make sure there's enough tension. When we open up the cockpit and remove the pilot, you'll notice behind the seat that there's a little fire extinguisher and wrench. There's also a cool little joystick and sort of control console in front of the chair. Of course, behind the cockpit we have the little seat for BB-8, who's easily removed as there is just a simple tile piece down there that locks him in with one stud. Play function wise, we actually have 4 spring-loaded shooters, and then we even have 2 stud launchers on the sides. These weapons again are identical to the black X-Wing that Poe had. The set does come with a few stickers for detailing primarily on the wings, but a little bit of detailing behind where BB-8 sits. The cockpit piece is one of my favorites as it's got very cool and accurate printing on there, and in fact could probably be swapped out on some of the old school X-Wing models as well. Now we also have a very minor set piece that comes with the set, which looks sort of like a moisture farm evaporator that gets hit during the attack on this small outpost. And when you shoot it with a spring-loaded shot, it can fall over and then flames come out the top to simulate the battle damage. It's a fine addition to the set, but isn't really an overall draw to it. I think it would have been cooler if they actually included maybe the hut where Lor San Tekka was living. Overall, I gotta say I'm a pretty big fan of this new X-Wing, and it especially looks really cool when you put it side by side with the black X-Wing. You can almost think about putting together your own X-Wing fleet, though that might cost you a bit of money. Without question, the new X-Wing is an excellent LEGO set, and it does remind me a bit more of the original X-Wing, especially now that it's done in light bluish gray instead of white, which is the color that LEGO did the original X-Wings in. If you think this set looks cool based on the video I just showed you, then I don't think you'll be disappointed with this model in real life, and I can highly recommend checking it out. In fact, if you would like to pick it up, there's a link in the video description. As always guys, thanks for watching us here on BrickVault. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a rating, and we'll see you next time on BrickVault.